Thank you, Dr. Raman. Thank you for coming all the way to celebrate this and also be encouraged. Celebration. I take this honor to speak a few words about the Arunachala Ashrama.
Dakshinamurti Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Ramanacharya Paryamtam Vande Guru Paramparam. Mohanji wanted me to say a few words about Arunachala Ashrama as an institution. If you think about the Hindu spiritual institutions in America, you will find that most of them were founded by Mahatmas who came here. Swami Vivekananda, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Swami Chinmayananda, and so on. There was no question of Bhagavan even leaving Arunachala, leave alone come to America. And of course, Bhagavan did not institute a monastic succession order. He as the Guru is present always. So Arunachala Ashrama was founded by a man who defies expectations. Not only in that he was not a sannyasi, he was a householder, yes. But also, he was not the sort of majestic personality who would go into another country and found another institution. In fact, those of us who knew him, he was a very rustic man to the core, from one of the most rural parts of Bihar in India. It was hardly the kind of personality that you would find. But what he really had was boundless devotion to Bhagavan and a lot of Bhagavan's grace. And all it took was a simple suggestion from Arthur Osborne in India during one of his trips for him to come and start a satsang, if you will, here in America. And you can see the sort of unobtrusive way of Bhagavan in the growth of the ashram also. It started off very simply in renting some rooms somewhere in Manhattan. It started on November 12th, 1965. That's how old the organization is. At the American Buddhist Society, renting a room. They were renting rooms for a few years. They were renting a storefront for almost 17 years, I think, before moving on to small houses and then eventually to this current location about 18 years ago. But if you look at this fact, there was never a moment where there were fundraisers, for example. It was never done and it will never be done. Bhagavan will provide whatever is needed and whenever it is needed. That is how the ashram has been all this time. And I think in some ways it mirrors the growth of Ramanasramam itself. From Bhagavan being in Patalingam and Gurumuktam and Virupaksha and Skandashramam and so on to the present location. And of course, we are gathered all here to celebrate the centenary of that great event of founding the ashram. Bhagavan also ensured that the ashram is run in a manner that is befitting to Bhagavan. It is meant to be a place where sincere spiritual aspirants can come and deepen their practice in the light of Bhagavan's consciousness. It is not, in general, except for occasions like this, we generally do not have cultural programs or lectures. The focus is practice. Arunachala Abhyasa Ashrama, Bhagavad Gita. That is what is meant. And Bhagavan himself is the teacher there. We don't have other teachers. Bhagavan himself is the permanent presence and teacher. And Bhagavan would call himself a doorman and a doormat. That's what he would say he was. A lot of the ashram's growth over the decades also owes to our second president, Sri Dennis Conner. And I think those of you here who know him will readily agree with me when I say it was one of Bhagavan's, he is one of Bhagavan's special blessings to us. There is a small video that I think will be played during lunch. So those of you who do not know him, you can see him walking through the ashram and talking about Bhagavan and the teachings and so on. A few years ago, he retired to solitude, somewhere, an undisclosed location, somewhere in America. But for 48 years, he dedicated his life to the ashram. And if one thing you could see in him within these 48 years is a sincere and total dedication to sadhana. Not for a single day did he miss waking up at 4:30 a.m. for the sadhana as an example to us. I personally think he was up even earlier. But not for a single day could he say. That was the best example he set us. So he was all about that inner life. But if you look at his outer life also, it was all about serving Bhagavan and his devotees. He really had nothing else going on. That complete dedication is a great thing. And I think once again, we should all thank Bhagavan from the bottom of our hearts for the gift of his company and his friendship that we all had for many, many years. Then finally, when Dennis left, he left the ashrama under the care and guidance of our current president, Ramanasramam. Dennis used to say that the most important thing you need to manage the ashrama is an attitude of selfless service. And I think that's what we find in him. I don't know how many of you know, but Mohan has been, every Saturday morning, he goes to do feeding the homeless people. And he's done that without missing any weekends for decades, not just here every now and then. So, to me, I sort of remember of how HMR would make food regularly for Bhagavan, which he would never want to miss it. So this is his way of serving the homeless, serving the needy, right? So if you think about these three leaders that the ashrama has had so far, to me, three values stand out. Humble devotion, sincere and total dedication to sadhana, and selfless service. And I like to think that these are the values by which that Arunachala Ashrama stands for. And these are the values that we all should try to uphold as well. Dennis's tapasya has also resulted in a lovely shrine that is very palpable with the presence of Bhagavan. That is a great help to all of us in our sadhana as well here in Europe. So I will close with a few words of Bhagavat again. Remember the village had no electricity, no school, and oddly for India, I believe no temple. Very that remote is how it was. So he said this not in his last days, but apparently 25 years before he passed away. Who knows? This body may go any day. What do I have to show for all these years? What will I leave behind? Have I stopped loving, serving, and worshipping all of you? Every day I question myself thus. And that is what I want you to remember when this body goes. Great words for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Swaminathan. Now I request Swami to release the latest album from Sangeeta Swaminathan. I humbly request Swami.
It's an online album, so there's no physical CD.
screen on. Fusion.
I would be going to speak a few words about the latest program from Sangeeta Swaminathan. Thank you.
This year, in addition to being the 100th year of the COVID, also is the 100th year of Sri Muruganath meeting in person. On September 21st, 1923, an event of profound spiritual significance unfolded as Muruganath had a life-changing meeting with Bhagavan Sri Ramana. The meeting was beneficial not only for Muruganath, but in fact for all of us. Muruganath wholeheartedly surrendered himself to Bhagavan. He renounced his worries, doubts, and the burden of making life decisions. Placing his complete trust in Bhagavan, he came to a profound realization that Bhagavan permanently resided in his heart, guiding him in all aspects of life. As Alan just spoke, Bhagavan taught us the wonderful secret of self-inquiry. Muruganath showed us how to practice it and how to live it. Through his life's example, Muruganath has laid out a spiritual solution to all our problems, emphasizing the enduring importance of sincere devotion and steadfast guidance in the spiritual heart. He has composed well over 30,000 verses. Just to put that on count, 200,000 lines of Tamil poetry. Is there any poet in any language from any era, residing in any corner of the world, belonging to any religion, who has displayed such unwavering devotion as Muruganath did? I can't think of him. He filled every fiber of his being with devotion to Bhagavan Brahma, glorifying the divine brilliance of Bhagavan in his verses. Indeed, along the way, Muruganath has risen as one of the greatest poets, nurtured by Mother Tamil, who has endowed him with magnificent faculty and intellect to employ the beautiful language in singing, blessing, celebrating, and immersing himself in the profound bliss and devotion experienced while worshipping his beloved Lord Ramana. As we reflect on his legacy, Muruganath has built a phenomenal monument for Bhagavan. This monument is for all to see, appreciate, and marvel for ages to come. But unlike conventional monuments, Muruganath laid the foundation for this monument through his own realization. Each verse he composed serves as a brick. His devotion acts as the sand. His unconditional love is the water. And Bhagavan's grace is a cement that binds down together. Brick by brick, he constructed his masterpiece. Within this monument, he placed an enormous throne, one that resides perpetually in every heart, yet remains unrealized. Muruganath spent numerous lifetimes preparing this throne, meticulously crafted through years of solitude, penance, and surrender. In that throne, Lord Ramana is seated in all his glory and radiance, quietly observing and guiding. Sangeeta Swaminathan, through her musical genius and devotion, with unwavering commitment and hard work, along with Swaminathan, has brought up a wonderful audio suite that can fill our hearts as we hear her divine voice singing anthems of Muruganath. I have the privilege to introduce her and invite her to the stage, along with others, to sing a few songs. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramana.
two music box. Somebody who claims
Thank you, Sangeeta. I'm very sure you are all going to listen to the entire album very soon. Now, in a few minutes, Swamiji is going to do the order.
वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः संन्यास योगात् सत्पाः ते ब्रह्मलोके परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दह्रं विभावं परमेष्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्यसग्रस्थम् तत्रापि गगनं दिशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यम् यो वेदादौ स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिहीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः
सर्वलोकैकहितसाधकाय साधु सद्गुरुवर्य रमणाय भगवते पादसेवक रामपावनाय जय मंगलम नित्य शुभ मंगलम जय मंगलम नित्य शुभ मंगलम जय मंगलम नित्य शुभ मंगलम